Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of Inspired By, a series where we look at the musical trends past and present to understand the techniques used so that you guys can make better music. My name's Will, I keep getting interrupted, and I make a huge amount of music under the moniker Hush Child. Today we're looking at sad lo-fi type beats. So I figured enough time has passed that I could share something that I thought was super cool and that you guys could benefit from. A few months ago, I received an email from some friends in Santa Monica, and it went a little something like this. Hey Will, I'm in touch with Powfu's A&R, and I believe they're looking for beats. I thought you might have a folder of things, and I'm sure they're looking to repeat Deathbed. Well, if you know anything about me, I'm sure you realize that I never heard back from these guys because I don't follow instructions that well. Did I repeat Deathbed? No. Did I have a folder of things? No. But I did make some sad lo-fi beats, and I figured that that would make for a good video today. So in this video, I'm going to underline some of the checkpoints and strategic techniques that I used for creating a sad lo-fi type beat, which has its intentions set on being an instrumental under a vocalist's storytelling. I hope you find this tutorial helpful, guys. As always, please do give it a like, leave a comment for what you want to see in future videos. If this isn't your first time here, please subscribe to the channel and hit that bell icon if you want to find your way back for any reason. For now, let's jump into it. Alright guys, so I'm going to quickly walk you through the track that I made for Powfu that never got used. Not bitter about it at all. But I do like this track, and I'll work from the top down and show you kind of the arrangement to the last portion of the song here. I originally took this sample. This was the first thing that I looked at, and it was a sample that was in 70 BPM and was quite clean. And it says lo-fi bass chord. I really enjoyed, even though it was a minor part, this here, which sounds more like somebody's, hitting a hi-hat or something in the background. And they've just left that in the sample there. But I originally pitched it down 4 semitones as I just like the way it sat here a little bit better. I added that RC20 as we always do, just to give it a little bit of that kind of tape wobble sound, a little bit of distortion, a little bit of bit crusher, tiny bit of reverb, and we just rolled off some of the low end because we knew that we were going to have another bass in there. This is originally a bass loop, but I've tried to make it sound a little bit more like a guitar and some sidechain compression there. So this is what it sounded like after I did, just some minimal processing. When we came into the end section of the song, which this is, I added the higher registers, just panned hard left, hard right of the same sample. And obviously you can hear that I've high passed the EQ as well, just so that our main sample and our bass and our kicks can all sit unconstrued to this little high embellishment that sits above it altogether. So just another little bit of ear candy there. So the ways that I embellished this track to make it a little bit less repetitive was just making sure that in the arrangement, I took out sections, I low pass sections, and added, kind of glitch effects that you can hear like here. And that's just by cutting and replacing the same sections. So, I've warped this and extended a little bit of the note there and just cut and replaced the same note as it goes into our more low pass section that you can hear below. So something that you may have noticed from the introduction to the track is I just had this child laughing sample, which is just lovely. You've always got to have a child laughing in the beginning of the track to remind yourself of the innocence that you once had before you promised you'd become a music producer and live this life of solitude and misery. Anyway, so we're going to get into our drum selection. As always, I'm using a selection of Soundsmiths drums here that are super tasty that you can find at soundsmiths.co.uk. UK, or head to Splice and type in soundsmiths. I'm using the drum sounds from Soundsmiths Lo-Fi pack. So we've just got this kick drum here, slightly understated kick drum again. Doesn't need to be shaking the room apart, but I did make sure that I just brought the gain down on some kick drums like this one so that it sounded again more human. You don't want the same velocity kick drum hitting every single time. Minimal processing, just EQ8 there, rolling off some of the extended highs. There's a little bit of noise. It's a Foley kit, so there's a little bit of noise in that kick drum one shot. You can see that I've just grabbed a random Splice kick drum and put it on this channel here called Kick Mute. And the reason that this is here is it's always switched off. It's never sending any audio. Sorry, you can never audibly hear the audio, but it's sending a signal to my other layers, and I just use this as a sidechain send. So you can notice that there are some parts of the song our kick drum isn't playing, but I still want to have that sidechain ducking effect that the kick drum gives. So you can just duplicate that first track and turn it off. But this is obviously just something that I thought of after the event, and quickly threw that in there and copied it up. So I've got this little Soundsmiths rim shot under there as well, and that's going to play our main kind of snare hit, coupled with this finger snap that I recorded a while back. Those two together sound like this. And you can hear there that there's just a tiny bit of plate reverb way in the back. So everything together so far sounds like this. We've got the hi-hats underneath. And same as I always do, try and give them a little bit of movement, some movement through dynamic change. So if we highlight these regions here and have a look at them, you can see that I'm using varying velocities there. I've detuned it and I've transposed it in areas. So it always sounds ever so slightly different, as if a drummer was really playing that. You're going to have different velocities. It's not always going to be the same pitch, because if the drummer squeezes down on the hi-hat pedal, you're going to get a slightly pitched up effect, or if the hi-hat is slightly open, it's going to sound lower in pitch. So I try and replicate that with any electronic one-shots. Coupled with this, we've got a crazy telephone EQ effect here, just super harsh, taken out basically just before the 1K region up to about the 16K region. A little bit of auto pan. If you don't have this, you can use tremolo, of course, and then our sidechain compressor as well. Just anytime the kick drum plays, it's just alleviating some of the dynamic from that hi-hat. Like I said, on its own, it sounds like this. Underneath, I've just got some rainforest sounds. Normally with my noise, vinyl noise, pink noise, white noise, or all these rainforest nature sounds, I'll often sidechain that sound so it's not sitting there throughout the track. But I like the warmth that came from this. It sounds like we're playing it on a cassette. So there's actually no sidechain on this. You can see there that I've taken it out on this particular track because I like how it sits throughout the track there. It doesn't bother me. You can obviously set this sidechain audio input from, and we can set it to our kick or our kick mute. Once we've got everything else in the track, it really doesn't take up too much space in the mix. I've got the operator here. So it's just playing bar, bar, up and down, really simple. Just setting the operator to its standard sine tone with a little bit of sidechain compression there so it doesn't always play on the downbeat of the kicks. And then I've just kept it in the center with the utility plugin and rolled off any high frequencies from that bass there. Kept it super subby. As an afterthought, I've added these ride samples just to add a new flavor to our drum selection. It is pretty repetitive, this track. Yeah, it's aimed at a vocalist over the top, so you want to keep it really simple. And something that you can hear from the start, no processing on it, no auto pan or anything. It's just the standard stock Ableton electric piano, which just rolls in these chords that I've played here. That's it. It's the same pattern all the way through. So something that I often use is the plastic marimba. Again, just another operator preset, stock with Ableton Suite. With a little bit of delay and a little bit of reverb there. And then I use the brush bells as well. I've just panned this in the opposite direction to the one above, and that's the last melody you hear and the melody that plays out the track. As a whole, this is what the track sounds like. So there we have it, guys, a real simple episode on how to make a sad lo-fi type beat that would sit under Powfu. Not that I ever heard back, but artists like him. As always, if you want to book one-to-one sessions with me, get track feedback, or download any of the projects from the previous videos or this one, you can join patreon.com/TheWillHatton. You can also go to distrokid.com/VIP/Will Hatton to get 7% off your first year using that platform. All of the links to my socials, my music, and anything that I've mentioned previously is in the description below. Thanks as always for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.